GTALK. We have the beautiful Josievei, and we are in her beautiful studio. It's called Devine Hair Studio. She's actually my hairstylist also. Every time y'all see me come through with a different hairstyle, she is the mastermind behind it. So she's representing for the natural hairstylists out there. So thank you so much, Josie, for having us. We're just gonna jump right into it.
Okay.
So Josie, tell us your story.
I was born in Haiti. I don't really know my story being told from my original parents because I was an orphan. All I know is the life that was created for me through my adopted parents. So my parents left Haiti when I was a baby, and my mom's sister raised me. She passed away, so God rest in peace. But she basically raised me for my mom. So she was the first person that I actually called mom. So my mom and my dad would come in and out to visit. The first time I met my parents, I was 7. When I first met them, I was 7 years old. And I remember them coming and I ran away crying because I thought they were strangers. Fast forward to 9 years old, I finally got the chance to come here, but it took 5 tries. My mom came and we went down to the embassy and they were like, no. My dad came, they were like, no. My mom came, they were like, no. So the last person that came was my mom. And she finally got a yes. And they gave me a 5-year visa. So I came here and it was the worst experience ever. I got held up at the airport. They held me like for questioning for like hours. Imagine being 9 and they're asking you questions that you don't know. Thank God they finally let me go. And life started. I remember being so like sad in a way because I did not know nothing about here, or I did not know my parents, so I felt like I was living with complete strangers. And I cried for like months and months to go back to Haiti. Not the case now, but I cried for months and months to go back. So life here, now speaking about life here, it was good and bad. When I came here, I guess not being brought up with my parents, it was kind of hard to build a relationship with them. My mom is super religious, so I went from being able to relate to my aunt to not even being able to talk to my mom without her like, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. So, and my dad has always been distant because he's like a Haitian man. All they do is work and provide. That's all you're going to get. So, you know, so now, yeah, that's all you're going to get.
All they do is what?
Work and provide.
Where they at? I'm just saying.
5 jobs.
They working. That's
my daddy had 2 jobs. So I was by myself, and mind you, I was the only child that they had in the house. All I had was the influence of other kids that were born here. And I was being bullied so bad, like it was so horrible. Like I couldn't speak English, I dressed like a Haitian.
Oh no.
I had the 2 little bows, sometimes 3 on a good week. So
who did your hair though growing up?
My mom did my hair. My aunt did my hair growing up in Haiti. Like I used to have the flyest do girl every week. And then I came here, my mom did not know how to do hair. So that's where all of this started, because in 5th grade, I got tired of being bullied about my hairstyle. Like she literally had me in those 2 bows.
What's wrong with that? Look pigtails.
In 5th grade, girl, we started having school dances. And I would show up with 2 little so it was not working out. So yeah.
Alright, so that's a plug right there. Listen, young adults or adults with children, make sure your kids are on point, please. Yes. It really will help with the bullying. Now we obviously can't stop bullying because it could be on anything. But listen, 5th grade, like they really feeling themselves. The shoes gotta be clean, outfits gotta be on point, and hair, please make sure the hair is done or cut for the little boys out there. Just please. Anyways, alright, go ahead.
Yes, please. I do kids' hair too. Bring them in.
Yeah. Check it out.
Bring them in.
So the passion for hair started
in 5th grade. Yeah. So I started doing my own hair. It's gonna sound funny, but I don't remember his name, but he used to say that song, "Hey baby," and Chris something.
Yeah.
And he had the beads at the end.
Oh.
That was my first little do girl. I went from 2 pigtails to braids with beads at the end. So then, you know, I was getting compliments, so I started feeling myself a little bit. So I graduated to cornrows in the front, plaits in the back.
Yeah.
So I just started doing my eventually my godmom, if you guys are Haitian, you know everybody stay at your house when they first come from Haiti. So they started staying with us, and then she would braid her own hair with extensions. And then she's like, oh yeah, let me teach you something. But in reality, she just wanted me to do her hair. But
oh wow, she
started teaching me how to braid with extensions. So then that started. So I added on more to my service menu to myself.
Skill set.
My skill set, yes. And then in high school, that's when I started doing people's hair, and I started getting some money for it. It was great.
Money. Hey,
money. That's when everything started clicking. Like, yes, I was working and I was motivated, but then I went through a whole identity crisis in high school, because that's when everybody's smoking and everybody's partying. It didn't hit me until senior year, when everybody was setting up to go to college, and you know, everybody was talking about their future. And I didn't know what to do, so I kind of always been doing hair. The last day of high school, one of my classmates, his mom owned a salon. So he called his mom, and she was looking for an assistant. So I got in there. Like, school was out the 24th of May. I was in her salon the 25th of May. So I started working, and then she motivated me to go to school. I was taking the bus from 441 and 41st to Sheridan Street.
People might not know where that is, because you got people from all
Yeah,
over.
that's in Hollywood. So from Lauderdale Lake, we're in Florida. Yeah.
Josie, you talked about a lot. You talked about different restrictions that you had, obviously growing up and being raised here in Broward County, and schooling, and the things that your friends were able to do, and you realized, obviously in your 12th grade year, that you couldn't do. So being withheld from so many opportunities, what has made you able to persevere still and to keep pushing towards, you know, the ultimate dream?
I've always been so self-motivated. So that was one thing, and I felt like, because there was one thing that I could have done, I'm gonna do it with my all. Like, the only thing I had was hair. Like, I was like, okay, I can go to cosmetology school, so I'm gonna give it my all. I was like, okay, I can do hair, I'm gonna give it my all. So knowing that I at least had one thing that I can hold on to, that's what really drove me. And of course, like God, of course, when I realized He was there the whole time, that's what really prompted me to really do what I had to do.
Did you have any doubts or fears in the whole process?
I wouldn't say doubt. I just had a lot of days where I was set back a little bit, but like I said, I was always so self-motivated that I knew I wanted to do it, and nothing was going to stop me. So there wasn't no doubt.
So the thing that I'm sure a lot of viewers will want to know, being that you're not from here, and there's a lot of things happening, obviously, in politics, and I mean, just the thought of waking up and feeling like you may have to go back to Haiti. How does that feel? Like, knowing that at any given time, like, you could just be sent back to a place that you've been gone from for so long?
It wasn't really a problem because, you know, under Obama, he really tried to look out for the people that were not from here, like with the temporary, which that's what my parents signed me up for. So I have a social and I have everything. I'm able to work. But clearly Obama's not in office anymore, and then the new president is trying to get rid of everybody that's, you know, contributing to the country, like people like myself. Like, although I don't have my papers or anything like that, I feel like I've accomplished so much to contribute to the economy itself. This year, that's when it really hit me, because I finally filed for my residency here. You know, everything was going great, and then Trump got in office, and now everything is taking so long. I've gotten rejected, so I had to file for a motion for them to reopen the case, because I'm affected by it, and not being able to have a say-so is one of the hardest things. Like, it's so hard. And if I would have had to go back, I've had that talk with myself, and of course Leo. I'm like, well, what you gonna do?
Wait, who's Leo?
Leo's my fiance.
Oh.
Yes. We're getting married December 8th. So he was born here. So this has been like kind of like a struggle for the both of us. He's been so supportive. Like, when I have to submit stuff, he's there. But one of the hardest things is that he has to put his life on hold, because now he's dealing with somebody that's going through an immigration problem. So of course he's voting.
Y'all better go.
So technically I'm still voting, but not voting.
Right. Just use your opportunity to have a voice, and if that means voting, definitely vote. Whenever voting takes place, once you turn 18, do what you gotta do. But anyways, all right, okay, so that's good to know. So with that being said, you know that you had, or you knew that you had at least one thing that God gave you, a talent, a gift, an opportunity to serve using your hands and your personality. And so with that, you decided to pursue owning a hair studio. Has this always been a dream of yours?
No.
Okay.
I always said I was so comfortable. I was working at a salon for 3 years, and I always used to say I never want to own a salon. I always used to say I don't want to own it. And then I started being so uncomfortable there, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? Because I realized that, like, you know, being Christian and being in that type of environment, God was calling me to have a bigger impact on my clients, and I wasn't able to do that there because of the conversations, you know, all that great stuff that goes on. I wanted to be on my own because I wanted to have control over my environment. So that's where this came about, because I was like, okay, well, if I go to another salon, I'm not gonna have control. So now I'm here by myself with my clients.
Right, which we love. Listen,
Yes.
she has that one-on-one engagement with her clients, which is really a good thing to have, because you're not stuck in the studio with a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of foolery. It's really like that one-on-one engagement. So if y'all are looking for a hairstylist, natural hair, permed hair, no hair, this your girl. Personal interaction, personal experience, made to fit you. But anyways, Josie, is there anything or any advice that you would want to give to someone who is either facing a similar situation as you, or feeling like, you know, it's just really hard out here and I feel like giving up? Anything that you can tell a young adult who is obviously facing limitations?
Well, the main thing that I would say is, of course, like anybody would say, don't give up. Because when you give up, like, the race is over. What are you going to do? So one thing that I say is really find yourself first. Because if you don't find yourself, you're not going to know where you're trying to go. So find yourself, and definitely don't give up, and keep God first. And look at, one thing that really helped me throughout this whole process is looking at the journey. Like, reflect back, see how far you've come from yesterday to even today. Don't give up and find yourself, and always keep God first. Faith was a big thing. So I know it's going to be a big thing for anybody that's going through this, is faith.
Please tell viewers how old you are.
I'm 23.
Better not even.
I am 23 years old.
This lady, woman, chick is 23 years young, okay? So for those of you that are out there thinking, oh, I'm not going to do nothing until I'm 30, 35, 40. No, listen. You can never be too young. She has her own business. She's paying her own bills. She's doing her own thing. She got a ring on her finger. Let me just go ahead and hold it up one more time so they can do a little spark, little action with the and, you know, and she is making moves as a young adult, and that's what we all should be aspiring to do. So thank you again, Josie, for your time. All right, so that wraps up another episode of GTALK. This is your girl, Miss Fab, and we are here with Josievei. You can follow her on Instagram and get your hair care done by this one right here. Peace. Well, as you know, it's your girl Fab, and that's another episode. No. Thank you. I gotta remember. I just wish there was like the words on the back. So
I know, right?
All right. You can follow her on social media on not WhatsApp. Sorry.
You're gonna get followers on WhatsApp.